Hello everybody, this is Matthew. I'm here to show you Beekeeper Studio 3.6. I dropped this version last week. I've got some great features to show you. Let's get into it. So the first feature I want to show you is part of the Ultimate Edition of Beekeeper Studio, and that is support for Oracle database connections. So this has been in beta for a little while, but it's now it's now fully available. It's on full release, general availability. Let's go through it a little bit. So if you go to connect an Oracle database, there's a couple of global settings that need to be updated before you can do it. So that your instant client location, this is a requirement for Oracle database client libraries, and also your TNS admin directory, which is where your TNS names file is, and wallets and SQLnet RAs and all that kind of stuff. And once you have those set up, you can connect either via a connection string, an alias that is in your TNS names file, or via a manual kind of host and port connection here. So I've gone ahead and set up a alias in my TNS names called dev, which will connect me to my development version of Oracle database. All right, and now we're here. We're in the full Beekeeper Studio experience. So everything works. I can come in to a table. I can make changes. I can look at the schema of the table. I can add columns. I can create a new table. Everything that you'd want to do in Beekeeper Studio is fully supported in Oracle. So I'm not going to go over all of the features. That'll be a separate video. But for all of you Oracle users, very excited to launch this, and I hope you enjoy it. The second feature to touch on was a community contribution. So for all of you who contribute code, bug reports, feature requests, thank you so much. This product is better because of you. This particular feature is support for compound primary keys for table editing, which we probably should have had already, but we didn't. And in this table, you can see there are 3 marked primary key columns here. And if we look at this table, these are all 3 part of the compound primary key. And I can come in here and I can edit the table and everything works. So this is a great feature contribution. I'm excited to bring it to every edition of Beekeeper Studio. The third feature I want to show, again, this is in the Ultimate Edition right now. I'd like to bring it to everybody. But it's support for what I'm calling query magics, but ostensibly this means formatting in your result tables. So I've got a quick example here where I'm looking at some product reviews, and these are totally arbitrarily made up. But in this case, someone, this user's left a star rating for this product, so they think cheese hats are 5-star. Well, with query magics, instead of just selecting the column, if I give it an alias, and you can kind of see what this looks like here, if I give it an alias and say as rating, and then type _, I can choose to format this column as stars. And you know what? I'm going to do this out of 10, right? This is what it looks like with a 5 out of 10 star rating. But, these ones are actually out of 5, so I'll just do it back to 5. And so there's no clicking here. There's no complex configuration. I rename my column. I get autocomplete for it, and I can format data. It's no one asked for this. I just wanted to build it. I thought it was really awesome. I hope you agree. It's so much fun to use and so much fun to build. The second thing you can do with this, and this is really why I built it, is everyone's always asking, "Oh, I want to be able to link to the users table from my query results." Well, with this you can. So, in this example, the reviews table includes a user ID, right? Because it's the ID of the user leaving a review. And normally this is just an integer. But if I type this as user, I can have a go-to column. So I can say I want to go to users, and I can even put the column ID in here. That's auto-completed as well. So this links to the ID column of the users table. And if I click this, there's your filter. It's unbelievable. The other thing you can do here is, this doesn't have to be a primary key of a table. I can look at, let's look at reviews. So this is a link to all user reviews by this user. So this is really flexible and allows you to link to any other table with any filter value you want. You can see in this one, I've got user ID equals 1, right? That's what it linked to, because I said this user column should go to the reviews table and look up the user ID. This also works with schemas. So I'm in Postgres, so I have the public schema, and then I have the reviews table. And if I don't add a column, it'll just look up in here by the primary key, but because we're linking to the user ID, we need to add that. And that works as well, just exactly the same. So I'm really excited for this feature. It's so much fun, and it can do so much. The full product docs are up on the Beekeeper Studio website. And here's a preview of a couple of other things it can do. So let me see if I can get a check on here. Great. So you can display URLs as images. In this case, I'm just using like an avatar image. You can have links that are clickable, both emails and URLs. You can do the table links, which I already talked about. Ratings, there's money. So in this case, you can add any currency you want, right? And format that by any currency you like. And things like checks and crosses. And there are more in here too. You should go play around. There's progress bars and various other things that are super useful. And many of these are very customizable. So I've probably talked about this too long, but this was a pet project. I made it because I think it's fantastic. I'm using it all the time, even in places that are inappropriate. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, that's kind of the end of this this feature showcase today. We fixed a whole bunch of bugs, added a whole bunch of new minor features here and there, minor tweaks to make the experience better. But I hope you all enjoy release 3.6, and I'll see you next time.